Hello, is it from Zester's Lab? Another day, another wonderful day, another wonderful project. So remember the gratitude journal that I created while I was in bed, the one that I called my healing journal. So after that, last video I made concerning that, where I showed you the one where I finished the one signature, I thought, you know what, really, it was that thick. And I thought, this one actually should be on its own. So I took it out because I realized I needed to do something else. It's wonderful when you create and you just go with the flow. As I said, I have with most of these projects of mine, I have no idea how they're going to unfold. Absolutely none. I just just go. When I don't know what to do further, I stop. And that's how I build my creations. They unfold. I mean, I just look and watch and do what I feel like doing. So that is the intuitive creating. Let's call it that. That is an awesome way to create, let me tell you. No pressure. Nothing needs to go as planned because you don't have any plan. So you can really just relax and enjoy the creating. This is not something that I knew. I'm only learning it now. I always had a photo or a reference photo thing, and I tried to get my creation to go that way. And now I just see something and I just go for it. And at the end, something that I really could not imagine in my wildest dreams unfolds and get birth. And it's just magic. I cannot tell you how much I am sorry, I don't know, I'm coughing. How I am enjoying my creative journey at this stage. So I did the healing journal. I realized I need to take one out because it is really too thick. And I knew I had to take this little one out that I showed you in my previous unfolding of my journal. So then I was looking, and this is the thing. Then I was looking at this outside. And I decided I need to put this beautiful crochet thing, crochet cloth, vintage crochet cloth. I need to put that there. And the awesome thing is then the inside, the back of this was not nice. I mean, I had a piece of white cloth there and it looked terrible. And I realized, okay, now I need to do another thing there. And out of the blue, I saw this yellow and I thought, I don't know, this is a little bit, I wasn't sure. But then I saw it in the front and I realized I need to go for that. So I put the yellow there, stitched it on. I took everything out, all my signatures, because it's so easy. You just loosen the knots and then you just take them out, and there I've got a little signature all on its own. So that is the awesome way of having them this way. You can add things, you can take things out, you can take the whole thing out, and I love it. I want to be able to add on and stuff. So then that is when the cover became like this. And I saw this beautiful pocket, and I thought, and I put some some things in it and it just didn't work for me, and I thought, I need to make a small little sewing kit. So that's what I did. One evening, I sat there in front of the TV. As I said, mostly it's still the tennis, it's US Open. So I was watching tennis or listening to the tennis, and while I was doing that, I created a little sewing bag to put in my journal. So now wherever I go, take note, as if I don't have enough kits of sewing kits and painting kits and whatever, but now when I go, I am ready. All I need to do is I'm working in this journal. So I take this journal with, and it already has my slow stitching kit in. So now it's all in one, and you can see it's now still a bit thick. So perhaps I'm going to take another one out. But what I also thought was, when I've now finished with another signature, I can always take that out and create another book but that's what I'm going to do with this one. I can even take one out and add them with that. So then there's 2 signatures and 2 signatures. So whenever I fill up a signature, I can take it out. Look at this. Then this will be my travel kit. I will have an outside with my sewing kit, slow stitching kit, and 2 empty signatures to work in. And then, or 1 signature to work in. And then when I come home, I can take it out. And let's say I go to the farm, then I can take it out and I can say, this is my farm memory. You know, as I said, this was my healing journal. So I think that's a fantastic plan. So I'm always taking a journal. So now I can, if I want to, use this outside that is gorgeous and beautiful and very easy to use, and just fill it up with ready to work in signatures. So, but let me show you my little slow stitch thing. So as I was doing this, I must say, thoughts came into my mind like, just get up and go and sew it on your machine. Really, this is taking way too long. But I said, no, this is about the process. This is about meditative sewing. I'm going to push through. And at the end, I absolutely love this. The feeling, I must admit, the feeling of a slow stitch work is different than sewing. Slow stitching is just, I don't know, once again, in the olden days before machines, this is how they create things. So I don't know if that is what I love or whatever, but I created this only with slow stitching. So it's just gorgeous. The feel is just beautiful. Once again, I saw a photo of this, I think on Pinterest, and I thought, excuse me, it's beautiful. So I made my own. I started off copying that, and it turned out totally different, and I love it. So here is my little bag. There you can see I have some things in it. I know. What is the name of, I forget that, rack that you put in your pants to keep them up. That things. Stretch. It stretches. There you can see a little blue one. It stretches. I will get to the name, but I am sure you know by now what it is, and you are saying it very loudly there on the other side. Okay, so this is not packed or anything. I just put in things. So this is the thing where I will put my pair of scissors in. But as you can see, I actually got a scissor in the charity shop find, but it is so blunt that I cannot even cut a piece of string, never mind a piece of cloth. So that's why that's not in. And he's also a little bit big. So I thought I'm just going to stitch those things on. They are open, so I can put any pair of scissors in there. So just look at this. This is also one of my coffee dyed or tea dyed cloths, very old looking. So there you can see some embroidery yarns, some other yarns if I need to mend something. So, and more yarn and more yarns, and then in there it's another pocket that I can use. And then I close it up with a beautiful little string. Once again, it is also a tea dyed little string that I found, and I just love it. So then this is very exciting. It's like a little concertina. That thing, look there, you can lift them up and then you can put all your things, some pins, some needles, some big needle, those needles. So isn't this cute? When I saw this, I thought, this is just wonderful. So this is supposed to be to put the yarn in, but mine didn't work out when I close it. It pressed there, so it didn't work out, but there it is. I can put something there. I don't know what. As I said, I only need little bit of things for slow stitching. So a couple of yarns, needles. I love the pins that I can put on. I need more pins, a little scissor, and I will have to put more yarn in. But voila, isn't this just the cutest thing? So after while I created my healing journal, I was led to create a little sewing kit. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. And if I don't put it in here, I can always throw it in my handbag. Can you imagine me taking it out and starting to sew a slow stitching project? So this is it. So I just absolutely love this. I love the looseness. I cannot remember if I showed you all the signatures, but just look, I changed it a little bit. I worked on it a little bit more, I think, after. Yes, I remember I showed it to you, but it wasn't stitched yet. So this is now the first signature. And look at the second one. I just sat here, stitched some leaves on as well. So that is my second signature. There is my third signature. But just look how beautiful they go together. A rough flower there. And my end. So there I can once again put a little booklet in, those that I make that I can really write in. That is supposed to be going there. Let me get one. It is here. I don't think I've showed you all of these yet. So these are the little booklets that I've been making. really just white paper so that I can write on them. There you can see, just beautiful. There's just white paper. So can you imagine? Look at this. I mean, isn't this just the most girly, beautiful, romantic, I don't know what you call it, but there goes my little book in. A little bit big, I think. But voila. So I've got my book. The pen supposed to be here as well. There's a pen, so I can add the pen. Look how easy the pen is going in. And there I have a gratitude journal that I can take anywhere. It's got my book where I can write everything in. It's got my sewing kit, and then these are my signatures, pockets, cloth where I can slow stitch things on. Voila! I mean, now I can really just play, and everything I need is just there. So that's what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you the reason for my sewing kit, and then my beautiful little sewing kit. That's why I say the joy of my creating journey is just amazing. So I haven't got an idea yet of how to close this up, but I really feel like just adding a piece of cloth there and just make another nice bow there. I don't want to really go around it. I don't want to half that. I love this whole feel. I don't want. So that's why I say very easy. Just stitch there, stitch on the other side, a nice piece of cloth, even something like this that I tear in a strip and just add them. Oh, you know, just a beautiful bow that will look fantastic. So, well, is it from Zetster's Lab? Love you lots. I'm also busy to make another outside for this little thing. Remember, I had this in. I don't know if I had it in here or in, and it just didn't work. It was just falling all over the place, this little doily. And then I thought, it looks beautiful at the outside of the signature, and I can really just either stitch it there or just staple it there onto that thing, and it will stay. I think staple is going to be the best, because you can always, if I want it, use it again or whatever, I can just take it out, or I can work it on. But now it's working. I love it there. It is just gorgeous. You can still see that beautiful piece. And they just work together. So once again, if I can, you can. And use what you have to create what you love. I am also still learning that, because lots of times I want to keep things like this doily. I mean, I bought it for R5 or something, and found it at the charity shop, and I absolutely love it. So now I want to keep it for something. For what? I have no idea. Use it. Look how I am enjoying it. Even if I am only enjoying it for a couple of weeks before I move on to my next project or whatever, it's still better than having it in my stash, never looking at it. It doesn't have a purpose there. Now it's got a purpose. It's there with its other little friends, and they are just together making a beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork. So, love you lots. It we'll talk again. I don't know. But just let me show you this. This is so cute. So I made another booklet. Once again, I used my handmade paper, but look how cute. As I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just create. There you can see the front, a doily, and there it's just an old music sheet or thing. But now look at this. This is actually, it folds. So there I have it. Now it's actually like a little folder, and inside the little folder I now have another little booklet. I made a signature, just put lots of things together. So this actually, oh, but look there, I made another one. That's it. I made the one that my papers are now like that. So there I can write, there I can write. I can actually do more of this and make this much, much thicker to really be a more very thin papers I made. There's an envelope. As I said, I haven't worked in this one yet. This is just one that developed into something like this. And now I just have a piece of cloth that just holds the whole thing together. I'm also learning what I love and what I don't love. And I love these earthy things. I don't like cutting, I realized. I love tearing. I love adding leaves into my things, stitch them. I just love this earthy look with all my little papers and hand-dyed things. Nothing is straight, nothing is square. They just work together. Look there, I've even got a little dangling thing there. But once again, I love the wood and the earthy things. So I have no idea. As I said, I didn't know what I was gonna like. That's why I never ever went the route of bookmaking, or what is that other thing that they make? That they make these beautiful books and then you buy everything and you can put it in and photos, and it's just gorgeous. Now I forgot the name. A friend of mine made one for my kids after their wedding. It was absolutely fantastic, beautiful. But I never wanted to do that. That just didn't gel with me. It was, I don't know, but these things, I cannot tell you how much I love creating these things. But I'm doing it my way. What speaks to me, what makes me happy. And as I said there, once again, my paper I made, a little beautiful piece of cloth I bought at the charity shop, my old books. Just this to me is just a music instrument. This makes me excited and happy. So, and the more I do it, the more I realized what I like and what I don't like. And that is exactly what it's supposed to be. And that's why I say, some of you will look at me and my things and say, I really don't like it. Fantastic. Great for you, because then you know what you don't like. And you can start to look for things that you do like. But another thing I also had to learn, you got to do it. It's one thing sitting and watching other people do things, and you think, I'm not going to like it, I'm going to not like that, I'm going to like that. Until you do it, that's when you actually realized, wow, this is really nice, you know? You will not know until you try, until you actually do it. And that's why I said, I am learning more about me than anything else. It's actually not about all of this. It's about What's going on in me? What am I learning about me? What do I need to deal with in me to become more free and to get to my excitement and to allow the life of me to start flowing? That's what creating is all about. It's about getting the life in you to start flowing so that you can start to walk in the abundance of life. Most of us never do it because we don't know how to access the life in us. So we live via the ego and the mind and not the life, the abundant life that is peace and joy and unconditional love, power, wisdom, everything that we need. So for me, creating is to getting a deeper and deeper understanding, but I'm talking heart understanding, not mind, to the workings of the life in me, what makes me excited, how the life in me is prompting me, showing me the way. And as I said, I once realized again, it's follow your excitement. That is the way the life shows you where to go. If you've got a lot of things and you're not sure which way to go, just think, what makes me excited? Even if it's just a little bit more than the one than the other, go that route. And that's how, as I said, I am learning about me. I'm learning about what I like, what I dislike, what I'm supposed to be, who I'm supposed to be, get rid of things that I believe was me or that is not me at all, because my parents and my culture and my blah, blah, blah told me that is how I was supposed to be. So I became that person. And now I'm learning, no, I'm supposed to do this way and be that, and and it's just freedom. So love you lots. Is it from Zither's Love? Find those stuff that makes you come alive, glad to be alive, that shows you who you are, and start doing it. Even if you just you're now looking at me and I'm slow stitching and I'm showing you all my project and my little bag. Go and create one, even if it's just a small little one. Go and get a needle and some thread and a piece of cloth, even if it's just something like this, but it's just cloth. Just go and just work a little hard on a piece and just see where that takes you. It's just the stepping stone to get you to start creating. And don't say, oh, I don't like sewing, I've never done it, I don't want to do it. You don't know. As I said, I was a PT teacher. I did the very good in sports, so I played tennis and I went that route and I became a tennis coach and stuff. Yes, I absolutely loved it. It was exactly what I was supposed to be. It was in the plan, in my path, on my path. But never, as I said, in my wildest dreams did I think I'm going to create journals, gratitude journals. They call it on the internet junk journals, but this is not junk. This is treasure. So it's my treasure journals, my gratitude journals. It's showing me what I like, what I dislike, what I've got to be grateful for, what I need to let go of. Teaches me about life, but the life in me and you and all around. That's what it teaches me. And that is what creating is all about. So there I go again with all my chatting. Love you lots. Have a fantastic day finding out what makes you come alive.